Hazel always knew there was something special about her cat Mooney, but she's still shocked when Mooney opens his mouth to tell her he's just had a vision. An ancient evil has awoken after centuries of sleep, and only one man can stop it, the legendary warrior Beowulf. Unfortunately, it's been over 1,000 years since he slayed a dragon, and he's been reincarnated as this guy. His name is Victor, and he's more unemployed millennial slacker than mighty warrior.
Hello there! I'm Grant, and this week we're talking about Spell on Wheels.
And I'm Angie, and I am the one who recommended we read Spell on Wheels.
So Angie, what is it that made you want to read Spell on Wheels?
I mean, it's just a fun, I think it would have been good around Halloween, but witchy stuff is very popular, and even though this is the trade paperback. It was 5 issues, and it came out between 2016 and 2017. So
yeah, so maybe we should get into what the comic book is about a little bit. It's about a young group of women who have magic powers. How old would you say they are?
probably in their early 20s, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've never seen the movie The Craft. Is this what it's kind of like? This is what I've always pictured it kind of being like.
This is a lot lighter. The Craft is definitely heavier, but yeah, in that genre of female, empowerment, group, coven, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Okay, so the story starts like right away. There's like no build up whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which
I liked.
I could have used a little bit of build up, like maybe a little bit of explanation about how they got their magic powers and why they're friends. It gets right into the story. This guy I don't know if I want to spoil this guy's relationship, but this guy is breaking into the young lady's house, and he steals some magic items of theirs. And then he starts selling it on basically a magic version of the dark web.
Right.
And so the girls have to go from town to town, kind of finding all of their magic items. And of course they have adventures along the way.
And I liked that they were all very different. It wasn't like they're all
Each adventure or each character?
Well, both.
Another minor criticism of mine is I wish that the 3 characters were a little bit more different. I felt like they all kind of had similar personalities, which again isn't the end of the world, but
I mean, I think that's in general a lot of friend groups, though. I mean, you think about your own friend group, you're all pretty similar. I mean, you may not physically look the same, but
right.
There's a reason you're friends with people, right?
Fair enough. So maybe it is. I guess maybe it is more realistic in that way.
Yeah.
Like whenever they do buddy movies, it's always one really straight-laced character and one kind of crazy character.
Right.
And let's be honest, that usually doesn't really happen in real life.
No. Usually in real life, if you have somebody in your friend group who's crazy and annoying, you kick them out.
Right.
Or ghost them or whatever.
So one thing that I did like about the book was it did feel like it was very progressive in that one of the characters was a lesbian, but they don't feel the need to kind of make a big deal of the fact that she's a lesbian.
Right.
And I also liked one of the characters. I'm sorry, I can't remember any of their names. The redheaded one is a little bit thicker than you would see your average comic book character.
Right.
Although I did think the slightly thicker girl wasn't 100% consistent, because in some panels she looked a little bit skinnier, in other panels she looked a little bit thicker. But I mean, at least they're trying to show other body types other than just supermodel.
Right, or Rob Liefeld.
Well, that's just science fiction bodies.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about the art at all?
Yeah. Did you enjoy the art? I really liked the art.
Yeah, the art is a little bit cartoonish, but that's okay given the subject matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I liked the art.
I mean, you know, everybody is kind of picky, or not picky. They have their preferences when it comes to what they want to see in comic books, and I thought the art was fitting for a comic book. It didn't have to be super realistic.
So regarding the ending, I wasn't super happy with the fact that the main villain's motivation had to do with keeping like wizard bloodlines pure. I felt like that was kind of a cliche. I would have rather seen like her come up with like a different motivation. I mean, obviously, like when you start talking about keeping wizards bloodline pure, you're gonna think of Voldemort, which I don't know. Again, it wasn't the worst thing ever, but I would have preferred if she had come up with something maybe a little bit more original. I'm sorry, they had come up with something a little bit more original.
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, but I mean, I think that idea is not that unheard of in the real world, you know.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, like, we know people whose parents would flip out if they, married outside their culture or what have you.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's fair to say I I liked this book, but I don't think I was quite as enthusiastic about it as you were. Like I would have given this book like maybe a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. I don't know, what would you have given it?
I mean, I will say this. I think sometimes when it comes to very female driven comics or books or whatever, where the protagonist is, or multiple people are the protagonist, it's hard for men to sort of understand it. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. And thank you for watching another episode of It's Like a Book Report, but fun. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and, well, not so much Twitter. We don't really care about Twitter. But
Yeah.
if you want to, you can follow us on Twitter, too. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.